Hello again, it's Noob, and wow, has it been a busy couple of weeks in terms of packages through my door. So, I don't know where to start, but because this is a video about packages, I thought I would start with a package I haven't really opened. The other ones I've had to for various reasons. I did flick this open to see if there's any personal messages. There wasn't, so let's have a look and see what we have inside. This one was from the Legal Lock Picker. I'll leave a link to his channel, of course. Please do go check him out. It's a picker from the US, has a growing YouTube channel, and yeah, I like to trade with him across the pond. So so this is clearly a new in-box Ace padlock. It's just you can see that this box is yellowed from age and is just probably being transported from one side of the Atlantic to the other. Has just had a little bit of a hard life. But oh, actually no, I can see that the keys are actually wrapped as well. Look, so maybe Legal Lockpicker's already been inside here to wrap the keys as a little challenge for me. Okay, that's kind of cool. I've wanted one of these Ace close shackle padlocks for a while, so I'm really grateful he sent that to me. I know that Ace are a hardware shop brand, but for what I can tell, these are actually quite good locks. I don't know if this is repinnable. It could be. I guess we'll explore that in a later video. What else do we have? An empty packet now. That's good. Okay, let's have a look at this bit. What do we have here? Oh, a sealed padlock lock. A sealed padlock lock. I might save that as sealed, but I'm having a feel around. I can feel that it's a standard sort of padlock shape and size. Yeah. What does it say about it? 90A Pro. Okay, so it's a padlock 90A Pro, black anodized Pro. Okay, that's really cool. I might say that for another video. And yes, I complimented him about this actually. Oh, I wonder if I can just reach over and get this from my shelf. So I already do have a Stanley lock or two. I quite like them because they are the few locks which have key-in knob cylinders, much like this, which I've also got to hand, inside, which is rare in the UK, probably very common in the US, but very rare in the UK. And because I hadn't seen one with this sort of brass finished body. I'm sure that's brass. It looks brass on there. I hadn't seen one of these before, and I was just fascinated by it. It looks so kind of cool. So yeah, just had to have a go. I don't know if it's going to be a key and knob cylinder inside. Looks like it's a weatherproof one. Let's have a look. Oh. Possible. It's got a standard sort of quick setty type keyway going on in there. Yeah, could be. But yeah, very, very cool. Absolutely love it. Can't wait to get into these locks on upcoming videos. I really, really can't. Oh, in fact, look, it says here that it's a quick set series, so it must be a quick set profile. Awesome. Thank you very much, Legal Lockpicker, for sending me those. Really, really appreciate it. Right, next up, let's go on to what my friend Oceanaut sent me as part of a trade. Now, I didn't know what he's going to send. He helped me out getting a gift for a friend, and so we just threw in a few other extra bits. Oceanaut's based in Denmark, which is probably why we've got the locks we have. So, what do we have apart from a world of pain, but the best kind of pain, lock-picking pain? The first up is this, which is a Ruko 3 padlock with, and I almost love it as much as I love the lock, a Ruko keyring. I love my branded key rings. Actually quite rare. Actually, again, within grabbing distance of the camera, I think I might have an example of one I've got here. This is a Federal lock keyring, for example. There we go. So, you know, finding those things is actually quite rare. So this is absolutely awesome for me. And what's interesting about this is look at the key blank there. This is a 0-bitted padlock. This is what I think a locksmith might buy, and then they have a pinning kit, and then they would cut the keys to need. I think that these are standard key pins, so I do have a pinning kit. I could probably pin something up based on another Ruko or ASA profile that fits that key. I could probably just get another key cut and have two of the same bitting, but it doesn't matter. Very cool, love it. So thank you, Oceanaut, for that. We have a restricted profile Abloy 241 padlock, and this is, if you look here, this is a sort of like an Abloy Classic, but one, it's profiled, the key, because of the profile disc here, you can see. But if you look right down the middle, about halfway down, you can see some more warding, and you can see here that that warding engages here. So obviously you need a very specialized pick tip to be able to get past all of that warding and profiling to pick this lock. I have to get hold of Huxley Pig to see whether he can do something. So at Citadel Lock Tools to see if I can make a tool to open that one up. Then we got some absolutely awesome Ruko locks. For those of you who don't know, these Rukos are well known to be extraordinarily tough picks. You know, they don't have to rely always on much more than good bitting and excellent tolerances. But trust me, that's enough. And this is a D12, and you can see it's an ASA Abloy, which means that it's a newer one. They were taken over by ASA Abloy not too long ago, but long enough. So that's a little high security cam lock. Very nice. Probably very hard to pick. What else we have? We have a here we go. Look, this is an older one, Ruko Denmark, although it looks brand new. So you can see the Ruko Denmark ones are going to be older locks, and this is a it says here T09. So very cool. They do just have really extreme bittings, these things. Very nice. Then we have now these are rare. I've not ever seen one before. So this is a Ruko Combi 2. So I've got actually, it just so happens I've got all this stuff to hand actually. So this is a ASA twin combi. There you go. And if you look there, you can see that they are essentially the same. I wonder if that key will fit even. No, different warding on the inside. But this is a twin combi. You can see it's a double layer of bitting there. Completely different keyway as compared to this Ruko Combi 2, which is very similar but has different warding at the top. I mean, you might find these everywhere you walk in Denmark, but I've not seen one in real life before I got this package, so that's really awesome. Thank you, Oceanaut. What's this one? This is a little Ruko system. Again, this is probably a slightly lower security version of this cam lock, but very, very nice indeed. And by no means will it be easy. It certainly won't. Just look at the bitting here. I mean, you already know you're going to need quite a steep hook to get up to pick that. Always a challenge, never easy. And last but not least, again, much older by the looks of the key and the branding there, but a really nice Ruko cam lock. It says rare, so yeah, very nice. I'm hoping that with that kind of standard keyway and the shallow bitting, I might be able to pick that one first out of all of these. So that's so cool. Absolutely love it. What a wealth of stunningly hard yet awesome locks. Absolutely adore it. Thank you, Oceanaut. This is another package from Denmark, and this was sent to me by Rune International, and Rune helped me find one of these for myself, which is a Ruko 1 padlock. Now, just have a little look at the size compared to the Ruko 1 to the 3, and you get closed shackle versions of the larger padlocks, which are even bigger. And this is one of the ones which is not repinnable, and the action of this is such that you can see how the actuator is actually just the back of the core, which is quite an old design actually, but still very effective, very much an anti-shim lock. But these are vanishingly rare to find. These, what we call yellow stripes, they're small, they're not as high security as the bigger Rukos, but they are very cute and I think highly sought after. They're so nice. So thank you, Rune International, for helping me get one of those for myself, because it's just rare, just really hard to find. Then we have this, which is really cool. Oh, do go check out Rune's channel actually, because he really goes into a lot of detail about all the Ruko locks, and what a wealth of knowledge he has. It's absolutely unbelievable. Anyway, so look at this. You've got this is a 600 RB. The difference between this is, well, you might be able to see it just there. Look where the shoulder of the key is. Look at that. So you couldn't just go down to your local key cutter and get one of these cut, because this is a very restricted, I believe, blank, and it's got a little notch cut out there, so it has to then engage with this. It doesn't have to engage with it, but it has to have that notch in so that it can, there you go, slide all the way in. It's a very cool little thing. I've never seen that on a lock before. You can see it probably better if I turn it, how much it stands up. That, yeah, needs to correspond with the cutout here. Again, like a lot of these Rukos, you can see just quite how extreme the maximum adjacent cuts are on these. Absolutely crazy. And I believe that this was one of the first ones that just have the Asa Abloy on there, not even though the front of the lock says Ruko, the keys just have Asa Abloy. Most of the other ones have Ruko Asa Abloy, which I think is a shame, because whilst it's okay that Asa Abloy take over companies, you know, there's something nice about having those older marks like Ruko, and whilst they, you know, I guess if they've taken over, got every right to remove the older mark like Ruko from the keys and branding, it is a bit of a shame. Okay, it's a classic series 1200, which is again just really nice. It's a great little lock, this 1200, because it's always going to be hard to pick. It just is. There's no way around it. It's always a tough pick. And this, which I don't know anything about actually, this is it says Rex 400. Nice little keyway. Don't know much about it. It's kind of cute though, isn't it? Looks like it's got some paint spatter on here. I thought it might be part of the design, but it's also on the shackle. So I'm thinking it could just be some paint. But it's kind of cute, isn't it? No key with this one, but awesome nonetheless. Thank you so much, Rune International, for sending these locks, and especially this yellow stripe, which, as you know, I really wanted one for myself. This last item actually isn't part of a gift or trade or anything like that from any lock picker or lock sporter or locksmith. It's actually just something I bought off eBay. And I got this from the Ukraine, and I've wanted one of these dual custody old Soviet padlocks for some time. This one looks very new, in fact suspiciously so. I don't know whether this is an old Soviet padlock or reproduction or continuation of production that's still made in the Ukraine. You can see there's two sets of keys, a number 1 key and a number 2 key, so 1 there, 2 there. Looks very new, so it could be old, could be new. It doesn't really matter either way, because I just wanted one of these dual custody locks, and of course they are based on the Abloy Classic design. I do have one Abloy Classic pick. The thing is though, is that you need to obviously unlock both sides of this lock for it to fully open. And with these Abloy Classic picks, with the pick tip, with the tension tip, once you've tensioned it and the lock is open, you can't then turn it back, and because they're disc-detained locks, and pull it out. So really I'd need 2 tips to get this open. So in its own way, whilst it's feasible to pick it open, you'd need 2 tools with Abloy Classic tips to do so. I thought about trying to like pull the shackle of one side up while the other one remains sort of locked, so just like somehow open it up a little bit and see if I can rotate it back enough to pull the tension tip back out. I don't know, maybe it's possible, but I doubt it. I think you need 2. But what was really cool about this, why I wanted to show you that, is that the eBay seller I bought it off was really cool to send some money from the Ukraine. I don't know how much this is. I imagine that it's not very much, being one of it, but it's really, really awesome to see money from a different country. And this is really nice, isn't it? I love the colours on this and that design. Really, really great. So yeah, just really nice. And of course the stamps that came on the packet were really cool as well. I just thought it was a really nice touch that somebody just sent, like, say you sold something back to Ukraine, if you would send like a $1 note back or something like that, would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? It's just a nice little cultural exchange, which I wasn't expecting, and I think is really, really cool. So yeah, that's basically the end of the video. The only one last thing I wanted to say is I finally got around to setting up a PO box for this channel. I set it up for well, 1, privacy reasons, and 2, if I ever move my location, which is going to be likely at some point, it's good to have like a PO box, a central box, where you don't have to worry about where you are. Things get sent to it and then redirected. So if you look at my about section on my channel, which should be up there, you'll see my PO box. So if anybody does want to send something to my channel, then yeah, that PO box is there for people to use. So pretty cool, huh? That's all I had to say. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've clearly got a lot of locks to pick, and some really fantastic ones as well. Thank you so much to Helpful Lock Pickaroon International, and of course Oceanaut, for all of their help. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you all next time.